was the home of Ed and Helen Rogers and their two daughters, Betty and Adele. And Betty was a year older than Dawn, and Adele was the same age as I, and we went all through grade school. So she was one of my very best friends from the 6th grade all my life and all through school. And they had a little bedroom right on this corner.
And just for reference, we're right across from Lowell Elementary School. And this street is?
This is Phillips Street.
Phillips, okay.
Phillips.
Okay.
And the corner there is Shakespeare.
Shakespeare,
it's
okay.
The same as mine. But yeah, they had this little house, and you can see where that other roof adds on. They added 2 bedrooms on the end for the girls later.
Okay.
But then this has been added recently.
Okay, so then Helen passes.
She passed away. Helen passed away a year or 2 after we graduated from high school in '61. So, I mean, we graduated in '61, and Helen passed away. And after Mom and Dad were divorced in '58, about there, when we were sophomores, Helen and Ed became really good friends with Mom. Ed had an alcohol problem in his earlier years, and he had gone off the wagon and had quit drinking. So he had no associations with Dad because Dad was still drinking at that point. So when Mom and Dad got divorced, they all became good friends. And then they lived out by Donnie, out there in the south end of town, and by Rainbow
Drive, yeah.
Yeah, in Rainbow Drive, and they lived, and they all played pinochle together. So Donnie and his family, and Mom and Ed and Helen all played pinochle together. And their Adele's aunt, Millie Fetcher, she was Helen's sister. They all played pinochle and were very, very, very good friends. And so a couple years after Helen died, Mom and Ed got married. And so with my best friend, who everybody thought we were like sisters, and a lot of people thought we looked alike, that we became actual stepsisters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
And it's a real interesting story.
Now, did Adele go to school with you here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we all went to school here together.
And you were in the same classes?
Yeah.
Are you the same age? You and Adele are the same age.
We
Okay.
only had. Let's step up a little bit away from that traffic if we can. Yeah. Yeah, but we had 45 kids in our 8th grade class. So we had one classroom, a large classroom, and then we had a combination room classroom, and I was always in the combination. I was in the 5th, 6th combination, and then the 7th, 8th combination for 2 years.
Okay.
So and it was.
And you and Adele were in those classes together.
We were in classes together.
And then back, so you go to
part of it, there were probably about 12 of us that were in the same grade. So there was the 7th grade had about 12 students, and the 8th grade had about 12 students.
So you go to school together, and then how many years later you become sisters?
Oh.
Gosh,
Well, I was. You were born.
65. I was born.
Yeah.
You were and you were in 7th and 8th grade, and
we were in 6th grade together since 58.
been about 54,
61,
53,
59, 58, 57, from about 55.
55. Okay.
From 1955, we were best friends and still are.
Yeah, and now
we
you're
became stepsisters in about 1965.